These 7 DMs have resulted in over $3.5 million in sales. I'm going to show you exactly how to use them today so you can book more calls and make some sales. One of these I used to actually get my first 5 clients, and you can use this exact DM, like as soon as today, to get your first 5 clients. Another one of these has made me over 500K in the last 12 months. These are tried and tested and work no matter what stage of business you're at, what niche, and you don't even need an audience or a following to make these happen. So let's jump right in here. I have to say this though, DM and sales scripts are fantastic. I love them, I use them all the time. But the most important thing is to understand why you're saying and asking what you're asking, right? And the response you're actually trying to elicit. So I'm going to give you these DMs, but you need to know what the goal is with each one so you can successfully navigate conversations. Your goal isn't to go from cold to sold, well, at least right away. Your goal is to go from cold to known or to lukewarm, and then we can go to sold from there. And we're going to chat about that in each of these. So I'm going to dive in and show you my screen here, and we will walk through these. The first one is the one that got me my first 5 clients. And this worked just so freaking well. And you can see here that I've got the why behind each of these. The goal with this is, and there's 2 parts to it, is to build reciprocity and get people to go, oh yeah, I want to do a favor for them, because people will know, like, and trust you, possibly trust you. And so what we're trying to do is reach out to those certain people and see if they have anyone who might be interested in your services. So when I was starting, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just like started reaching out to people and I was like, hey, I'm just starting this. Like, do you know anyone who might be interested? And surprisingly, it got me my first couple of clients. Like, this wasn't just in DMs, it was also in person. The thing with it is it's twofold. Is one, you're trying to get that person to find someone who might be interested, but also you're printing into their mind that this is your service. So now they can become your best advocates. So my first client actually came from my mom. I told my mom this and she told someone, and then the next day I had a meeting, right? The second client was actually, I told a friend. He had, his dad actually ran and worked for this guy who had this business who needed all our services. So you're just trying to use that network effect, like use the network that you have to get to the people and friends and get to their network. You're extending it. You're also doing this because the person you're messaging might actually be interested in that service. And that's why this works. And the part 2 to this works even better if you do start to have a bit of an audience and you can do this to these people and you can actually incentivize them with money, but you can also secretly pitch what you have to offer. So the second one is like, hey, we just finished up getting crazy result for niche. Hey, we just finished up making, 20K a month for this client doing this. I know that you're well connected. We're offering 20% referral fee for anyone who joins us from a referral. Do you happen to know anyone who might be interested in this? Now, this is a bit of a Trojan horse. And so I don't love it because you know why you're doing it. You're trying to get them to actually become a client, but you're also trying to see if they will refer you someone. So it isn't the worst thing to do. And ultimately, if you offer a good service and you can help someone, I'm fine if you're doing things like that. So this works so well, and I would recommend that everyone do it as quickly as possible. Like, go out there today and start sending this one. The next one we're going to cover here is the context, complement, and connect. So this is a part of our framework within the DMs. It's the first thing that you really want to do to set the tone. Now, some of the messages that are in the examples here are a little bit generic, so insert a bit of personality. The goal and the why you're doing this is people often overcomplicate this. The goal is to simply get a response. Adding extra context and giving a bit of connection will help you do that. So here are some examples, right? Hey, appreciate you giving me a follow. Curious what caught your eye about my page. And that one, it's a difficult one because you're straight away starting the relationship by an ask. I would rather start the relationship by getting them to actually open up a little bit. So you could even combine these two, like, hey, appreciate you giving me a follow. How's your month been so far, my friend? And just starting the conversation. That's all you need to do. I really like just making it simple because you want to factor in is that most people are on their phones when they're going to respond to you. So what if they're walking the dog or what if they're doing something else? You don't want a big complicated answer. You just want them to reply as quickly as possible. So again, if you're doing this a little bit colder, you should set the tone and make sure that you are having a bit of connection that isn't, generic, right? So the context, connect, complement, here are the three. So why you're reaching out, a general connection and rapport, and what's something you admire or like about them. Big note here is do not sound like AI. Just please be yourself. So, hey, legend, seen you pop up a few times on my feed. You're a savage about those newbies, referencing a post. How's your summer been so far, man? Casual, conversational, we're just trying to get a response. That is all. Simple as anything. Now, quick cue. This is one of my favorites, right? This is so freaking good. And I'm a big fan of this because it generates a bit of curiosity and it creates an open loop of that dopamine that they want to seek, right? They're thinking to themselves, what's he going to say? And so the script is like, hey, legend, let me know when you're online next. Have a quick question or quick cue. Works so well. It's funny because people will say like, what's a cue? I'm like, a question. But anyway, this works so well because you're just trying to get basically an opt-in and just them to say online or yeah, what's up or whatever it is, just something simple. And then you can pitch. You're basically like getting their attention or they're opting in to your funnel, if you will. And it works so well when we're trying to present a new offer because we're just starting the conversation. And I'll, further down in the bonus section, I'll actually show you what those new offers will look like and how you can do them. So simple. Let me know when you're online next. Got a quick question just to get that opt-in. Works so well. Super effective. Now, if you want this doc as well, there'll be a link somewhere below. You can click on it, opt into the email, and I'll send it over to you. Next one is the cold humor. This one is kind of silly. And to be honest, the reason why we use it is what I say here is when my confidence is down a little bit, or we just need to bump up the lead flow a little bit. We just want to go a little bit colder than what we would usually go, but you want to do it with a bit of humor because you don't want to really push too hard. All you're doing with a lot of these DMs, and we have like a triangle that we draw this up in, is that it's just about your connection, taking them from cold to lukewarm to warm to hot to actually becoming the sale. And we're doing that through the connection side and our content. Both of them play into each other. So eventually someone will go, yep, I love this guy, want to work with him. The thing with cold DMs is everyone's like, oh yeah, I want the perfect cold DM that will sell someone. Well, that's just basically running ads, but you're paying an automation or you're doing it yourself or a VA to do it. So you may as well run ads instead. What we want to do is just get a conversation so they can basically opt into the funnel and they can see the content and they'll warm up over time. So you can just find your own little ways of humor. This is one that's worked well for us. It's like, hey, Jason, this message is colder than Elsa, but promise not to freeze me out. Frozen, blah, blah, blah. So it is very simple. Now, what I would do is just like delete the we help thing and just go, how's your summer been? Just to start the conversation. The we help thing is really when you're pushing for lead flow that you're trying to convert quickly. So you're like, all right, we need some deals in the next week. Let's pump this. So you pump that out. And then it's basically similar to the first two where we're hoping that they're actually interested. So it can work very, very well to generate a bit of interest. But also it's just starting more conversations. The next, and this one is the one, right? This is the one that has made us the most money in the last 12 months. The goal with this and the why we're asking is to switch the context from any of the chitty chatty stuff to actual business. But we want to do it in a way that's like authentic and disarming. And you can start the conversation however you want, but if the chitty chatty is going on, then we want to make sure we're transitioning to business or what we offer, right? And so here are a lot of examples that you can use, right? I just skimmed through your post. Love the model you have right now. Is X the main platform or you're getting leads elsewhere, right? Looks like you're super consistent in the gym. How long you been up at it? You enjoying the process? Oh man, this is my favorite. Always wanted to visit Toronto. How's the nightlife and dating scene up there? I'm sure you're crushing it. So you're doing this in a disarming and simple way. But the goal with this, and I'll probably even put this right here, goal is generate a negative response. Sometimes it might not be negative, and that means their pain isn't really there, so we need to just keep digging a little bit. But we want them to say, oh, yeah, man, I'm getting leads on X. And then we're like, oh, good, man, love to see it. X is a really powerful platform. Are you booking calls daily from it, or is it kind of a longer-term play? You want to add those like kind of XYZ, because what it does is it reduces the pressure on the question. So if you said, oh, man, are you booking calls? And if what are they going to say? No. You just want to give them the negative response that is softer than what their answer would be, because people don't like admitting that they're in pain. We're all got that ego thing, right? So you want to make sure it's super simple and get that kind of or XYZ just on the end of it or at the start of the question. So here are some more examples. You can use them. They work fantastic. Just customize it to your offer. Now, the temp check. One of my favorites is this is to kind of temp check them to see if they're like open to your pitch or open to jumping on a call. And if they're not, we kind of shift directions into offering a lead magnet or a VSL or something to warm them up a little bit. Now, this is after you've had a little bit more of a conversation. So I would say like, man, I appreciate you giving me all this. I have a ton of thoughts, could write a whole book, but I don't want to dump it here if you're not open to it. Would it be cool if I share what I'm thinking? Then we can go into, cool, awesome. I believe we can help you solve this. Are you open to getting help? So you're just temp checking them. One of the things that we do here is I have a bit more authority since I've been doing this for so long. So I ask, are you open to help? Or like, I've seen your challenge a lot. You want any ideas, right? So you're just trying to kind of soften the question of like, do you want to jump on a call? The issue with this is that some people will then go and expect the call to just be a value call rather than a sales call. So you need to make sure like, oh, cool, man. Well, here's my calendar link. Just want you to know if I think I can help a little bit further, we'll offer you something, right? You do want to say that if they're being a little bit cagey. Sometimes you don't, but you just want to make sure that you're not setting the tone as this is a bait and switch. So you want to keep this very simple. Next one here is the follow-up at fault. So this, if you go to a restaurant more than 4 times, you're almost guaranteed, like 90% likely, to go there more and more and more. It's basically a lifetime thing. The thing is with ghosting is that people think it's like, oh, they're just rude. No, it's guilt. I haven't responded once, so now I'm not going to respond a second time. And then after the 3rd and 4th time, I'm definitely not going to respond because you're just accepting that guilt. You want to take the blame off them for them not responding, which is a little bit silly, but ultimately it works because we're just accepting responsibility for their lack of response. So what I say is like, man, yes, they got away from me. Apologies for not checking in, even though they're the last one who should be responding. Was it hectic over on your side? And you're kind of, what you need to understand is you're shifting context a little bit though. So you might need to go back into the actual DMs and start having more of a conversation after they respond to this to get back to the point where you can pitch what you need to. But ultimately, this works no matter how long it's been. So it could be like a week. You're like, oh man, I'm so sorry, I forgot to check in, even though they didn't respond twice. This works really well because it takes that guilt off them and they can just go, yeah, it was crazy on my end. And then it also kind of resets the conversation, and just know that it resets the conversation. So you're going to have to dig a little bit. My sales coach, when I was really doing like tons of sales call, will always say like, if you get to the end and before you pitch, you say, is there anything else I need to know? And like, yeah, my business partner. And you're like, oh God. So you got to go back through the sales call to solve that before going into the pitch, because you want to go through the pitch without any of those lingering thoughts and questions. And we want to solve all of those through the sales process. So this is just to restart the conversation, if you will. If they're quite hot and you're just like, okay, well, let me pitch again, that can work, but I would just couple messages in, then go again. All right, cool. Couple bonus ones. And again, if you want this, link will be below. Couple bonus ones here. 9-word email. Just straight to the point and easiest way to gauge interest. Now, this works in DMs or you can do it in email. It's like, hey, name, are you interested in XYZ, your business? Are you still interested in losing fat or building muscle, whatever it is? And that's it. Because it's like the quick question. It's like, oh yeah, I am. Like, what the hell? And also it's a bit of an ego check. They might be like, oh, I don't know. I am, but I'm, difficult to say. I don't want to say that I'm not. So this works really well. I'm a big fan of it. Drums up a lot of business. Last one is the curiosity pitch. And it's similar to the first DM. The goal is to get them interested, but in a way that's kind of a favor, right? So, hey, we just dropped this new offer, training, script, whatever it is, looking to get more feedback and eyes on it. Would it be cool if I sent it over to you to check out? No strings attached. Then we just send an offer doc. And then you could combine that with the first one, the not the first one, sorry. So you do quick question, get that in, but then you can combine that with, yeah, the first one. What was I thinking? The favorite scale, right? Hey, we do this, blah blah blah, 20% referral fee, or do you happen to know anyone who might be interested? Works super well. So these are the scripts that you can use at any stage. Take the doc, start implementing this, and start making some freaking sales. Use our software, Adtaria, to actually help you do that, because you can do things like this. You're scrolling through Twitter, you see a lead, you click on them, boom, we instantly have all of their details, where they're at in the pipeline. We can send them a message, we can update the deal, create a new deal. Works on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. So just freaking get it. You can get a free trial. All right, appreciate you, and I will see you